When I look at Caitlin Clark, fans are tuning in to watch her. And you know who that's helping? Everybody else. It's helping the Asia Wilsons. It's helping everybody else.
Because the Caitlin Clark conversation is in the process of jumping over into the political realm, and it's going to get even grosser.
I never once said that Caitlin Clark should have been on the team ahead of the 12 people selected ahead of her because of basketball. I said marketing matters in everything. Promotion matters in everything. And you're not going to get around that. That is what I said.
Caitlin Clark's jump to the WNBA has been a game changer, reigniting interest in women's pro sports like never before. As the top pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, Clark inked a 4-year deal with the Indiana Fever worth over $300,000. And it got everyone talking about the significant pay gap between male and female athletes. Additionally, Clark landed a massive $28 million endorsement deal with Nike. Now, all this may seem like too much for one person, especially in the WNBA, and from her first few months in the league, she's received so much publicity not seen before in women's basketball, even from NBA players and legends. But what are they actually saying concerning her impact in the league so far? Clark's early days in the WNBA have been anything but smooth. The Fever have struggled, sitting on an 11-15 record. However, the Iowa product has managed to put up eye-catching stats, averaging just over 17 points, almost 6 rebounds, and over 8 assists per game. Her stats are quite impressive considering that she has also faced intense physical play, drawing hard fouls and relentless defense from opponents, which many have credited to an apparent dislike towards her. On an episode of his podcast, Mind the Game, JJ Redick chatted with NBA superstar LeBron James about the apparent dislike and vitriol from other players towards Clark.
But the thing I wanted to bring up was just, I don't want to call it hatred, but there's definitely like a dislike or vitriol coming her way towards older players. And look, I think we all experienced that to some degree when we first got in the NBA.
For sure.
Your opponents are not wrapping their arms around you. I had that to a small extent.
LeBron, who once was also a hyped prospect, made it clear he's rooting for her success. He even compared her journey to his own, coming into the NBA in 2003 with massive expectations.
My advice to Caitlin, and my advice to anyone that comes in with this, this level of like notoriety, out of this world expectation, whatever the case may be, I just think it's all about having, be a horse, man. The Kentucky Derby, put your blinders on, go to work, show up to work, punch your clock in, prepare yourself, work on your game, work on your craft, kind of keep your mouth shut, and just learn from the vets. When they ask, you voice your opinion if they want your opinion, man, early on, because everybody is looking for you to say anything and they're gonna splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. And I think for her, the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in.
LeBron hailed her, calling her a catalyst for many great things to come for the league. Following that comment, NBA legend Charles Barkley went on TNT during the NBA playoffs and told women to stop being petty, given all Clark has done for the WNBA.
I want to give LeBron a shout out. You guys know I hate social media. I got to give LeBron a shout out. It's something I read on Bleacher Report. That's the only thing I do.
You do?
I love
Bleacher Report.
That's it.
Expand your horizons.
No, I don't want to listen to all these damn idiots and fools on the internet.
What he said?
Yo, man, let me look at this camera right here, 83. You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished. Give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you are 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlin Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA.
LeBron might be spot on with his support, but there's a bit of irony in Barkley calling out other players for pettiness. He's been known to throw a few petty jabs himself. His comment quickly went viral after calling out WNBA players for their jealousy toward the Indiana Fever rookie. And the players quickly reacted, with Kennedy Carter taking a shot back with a flagrant foul on Clark, Angel Reese claiming she's the real reason for increased viewership, A'ja Wilson and others suggesting it's a racial issue, and Natasha Cloud telling new fans to stay quiet, all paint a picture of a pretty divided atmosphere. Barkley has long been an admirer of the Indiana Fever guard before she even played her first WNBA game.
I was talking about Caitlin Clark, the phenomenon, but this is really the Steph Curry effect when you think about it. That, you know, when Steph started taking those shots and Steve Kerr's holding his head like, what are you doing taking those shots? And then he realized that those are actually good shots. But the effect that that's had on basketball has been pretty remarkable.
Well, it is. Caitlin, man, she's a phenomenon. It's, you know, I've actually know what's really funny. I've been trying to get a chance to see her play in person, but I haven't been able to fit it into my schedule. I'm going to try to get that done in the next month or so. It's not easy, because if I do it, I'm probably going to have to get a private jet to fly the hour or somewhere on the road, because I want to see her play in person. Number one, congratulations to her.
After all, she was the hottest woman prospect the league has ever seen. And it's not surprising that they don't want to see her take all the spotlight. This reminds us of the media-hyped rivalry with Angel Reese during her college days, which Clark found frustrating. This rivalry has followed the two rookies into the WNBA, and it's getting more noticed than usual. Following that comment from Barkley, Reese, now with the Chicago Sky, appeared to take a swipe at him and possibly Clark in a now-deleted post on X. After a Sky victory, Reese wrote, "And that's one getting a win in a packed arena, not just because of one player on our charter flight." Many fans reacted that this was the level of pettiness that Barkley was talking about. Lakers legend Shaquille O'Neal revealed on the Big podcast that Reese was personally offended by Barkley's rant. She even called Shaq, asking why he didn't stand up for her and her colleagues. "I have to call her and tell her to stop reading comments," Shaq said. She jumped on me saying, "Why didn't you say nothing to Charles?"
You know, I'm not the big brother that says bam, 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 bam. She knows if she needs anything, she can call me. I have to call her and tell her, stop reading comments. You don't owe explanation to anybody. Play your game, you know, because she jumped on me. "Why you didn't say nothing to Charles?" I said, well, first of all, you know Charles takes up the segment. I didn't have the time to say anything. But I talked to him afterwards. But I love the marketing that's going on between her and Caitlin. It's similar to myself and Christian Laettner. We're forever going to be linked until one of us separates from the other.
Shaq then described Reese as sensitive in a positive way, adding, "The ones that are real sensitive are the ones that are more dominant." The WNBA has seen some great players during its history, but rarely have two rookies had such spotlight that NBA legends had to chime in. Another Lakers legend, Magic Johnson, has some solid advice for Caitlin Clark amidst her ongoing rivalry with Angel Reese. Speaking on Jimmy Kimmel Live, he acknowledged the impact they are bringing to the WNBA.
Now, Caitlin, her teammates got to come to her defense.
Sure.
You can't allow her to have to fight every battle, right?
Right.
But we have to understand that both Caitlin, Angel, and Brink, who plays for my Sparks, they made the WNBA better. And they're going to be tested by these incredible women who've been in the league for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlin still has to play great to become the best WNBA player.
Things got even more heated in early June when Reese cheered on her teammate Kennedy Carter's aggressive body check on Clark during a game between the Fever and the Sky. Johnson recalls he faced similar harsh treatment as a rookie.
Veterans are going to test you, right? And if they feel that you've gotten more money or more publicity, you know, they're upset about that. So when I came my first training camp, First day of practice, Ron Boone, I was looking up to get the rebound. He came and hit me real hard behind my neck.
One of your own teammates?
My own teammate. And he said, take that, rookie.
Oh.
So I said, okay.
He also said that Bird, who dealt with similar rivalries during his career, could offer some valuable insights.
And let me give Caitlin some advice.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
Call Larry Bird.
Really?
Yeah, call Larry Bird. Ask him for advice.
Oh.
Because you think about...
Why not call you?
Well, she can call me.
Oh.
But
what does
Larry,
he know? I mean,
Indiana, he's already there.
Oh.
And I think that he could give her great advice on how to handle this situation because he went through it himself.
Clark went #1 overall just like Johnson did way back in 1979, and she is drawing massive crowds, with her games attracting thousands of fans. Magic highlighted this saying, those two, especially Caitlin, are definitely a direct result of what's going on in the WNBA. The ratings don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Kimmel pointed out earlier that Clark and Reese could be seen as the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of the WNBA. Johnson agreed.
Let me ask you about these WNBA players, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, who many are saying are the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of the WNBA. Do you like that when you hear that?
I like it, and they are.
Were you treated as roughly as they have been treated when you were a rookie?
Of course.
Reese isn't having any of the chatter about people tuning into WNBA games just to see one player. She's fully embracing the bad guy role, especially after encouraging Carter's shove as long as it draws attention to the women's league. And she's got the stats to back it up. Reese, named the WNBA Rookie of the Month for June, following Clark, who won in May. Mid-June saw the much-anticipated second WNBA matchup between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and this time it was highly anticipated considering the shoving incident in the first game. Indiana edged out Chicago with a nail-biting 71-70 finish, making it 2-2 against Chicago and 2-2 for Clark against Reese. The game was heated. While the Clark versus Carter showdown grabbed headlines, the real buzz was about Clark versus Reese, two star rookies with a history from their college days and now battling for Rookie of the Year. Clark recorded 23 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds in her first back-to-back WNBA victory. Just like the previous contest, Clark took a hard knock, this time from Reese, who sent her elbow to Clark's head. In their next head-to-head just 1 week later, Reese led her Chicago Sky to an 88-87 victory over Clark's Indiana Fever. When asked about a potential rivalry post-game, Reese focused on the team effort, saying, "It's just good competition. I'm happy. They got one up on us, but I'm just happy for the team. Chicago came out tonight, so I'm happy for us." Clark might still have the upper hand overall, with her Fever winning the first 2 games against Reese's Sky, but the final matchup is set for August 30th in Chicago. Clark was no doubt struggling with the physical defense in the WNBA, voicing her frustrations with officiating. This frustration is shown on the court, resulting in 3 technical fouls across her first 10 games. Her debut drew over 2 million viewers, the most in 2 decades, and she continues to boost WNBA ratings with multiple records set this week. However, many, including NBA Hall of Famer Tim Hardaway, are saying that her teammates don't protect her enough from some of these physical altercations. Hardaway went further to say that what she faces is just hatred.
To me, it's just hatred towards this young lady. Only thing she's doing, like you said, is out here. She's playing the game of basketball, and she's having fun doing it. And the media has put her on this pedestal that other people can't grasp. Okay, even her teammates. You know, some of her teammates have animosity towards her.
Yeah.
Like when she got knocked down, did you see the young lady come? She didn't run to her rescue. She walked over there and tried to pick her up instead of going after Kennedy. Like, yo, you don't mess with her. You know, other people. Yeah, you got to protect your superstar. Even though you know you don't like what has transpired and people has put her on a pedestal. That's still your teammate, and you still have to help your teammate and protect your teammate. And none of them ladies have protected her. Yeah. I don't think on her own team, and I think she's unfairly getting stuff that's done to her, and it's just bad.
Caitlin Clark has certainly had a profound impact on the WNBA, but is she really getting all the hate because she's the league's next big thing? WNBA journalist Megan Hall isn't convinced. She took to Twitter saying, "It's mind-boggling to me how the WNBA gets little credit for any growth it had before the 2024 draft class. Previous players matter too. It's insulting to act otherwise." This was in reaction to that quote from Charles Barkley. Hall's point is valid. The league had serious momentum before Clark arrived, but she amplified it. Last season, WNBA viewership on ESPN jumped 46%, and ABC games saw an 18% increase. Then Clark stepped onto the scene and set the viewership record for a WNBA game on ESPN in her debut, and it was up nearly 200% from last season's. Clark's influence extends beyond the court. The league's long-standing commercial flight policy changed swiftly after Clark publicly criticized it, with the Fever being the first team to benefit. The WNBA committed $15 million over the next 2 years to provide full-time charter flight services for its teams, ending the era of commercial flights. Charles Barkley credited Clark for this change during his controversial take. However, the conversation about charter flights began well before Clark's debut. The WNBA Players Association had been advocating for safer travel conditions for years. Concerns heightened after Brittany Griner was harassed at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport last year, underscoring the need for better travel arrangements for women athletes. Clark didn't ask for the spotlight, but she sure is getting all of it. NBA legend Isaiah Thomas recently joined Dan Dakich on Outkick's Don't At Me to discuss Clark's impact as the top pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. Thomas expressed his admiration for Clark's influence.
What is your thoughts on this whole Caitlin Clark thing and where women's basketball's at?
I actually love the attention that Caitlin has brought to the WNBA, and I love the attention that women's basketball is getting. For too long, we've kind of the media hasn't really shined the light on the WNBA athletically and competitively. They'll give it a nod every now and then, but now, since Caitlin has arrived and she had a great college career, and she was fantastic to watch, and you're curious and you want to see it go on. So I think it's great what she's done, and I think it's great what the media and the WNBA and marketing and the players are doing, because controversy is not good, but controversy sells. And whether the NBA wants to admit it or not, the NBA, the steps that it made to get to the place that it's at, from a fan appeal standpoint, is that the NBA over the years had to go through some very controversial moments, and they stepped up and they met the challenge. And the WNBA, I think, is in its 26th or 27th year of existence, and it's going to go through those controversial moments, and I have no doubt that they'll step up and meet the challenge.
Thomas likened the WNBA's current trajectory to that of the NBA, noting that controversy, while not inherently positive, helps sell the league. Clark has certainly faced her share of controversy and tough play since entering the league in March. The much-anticipated prospect has encountered intense defensive coverage and strong challenges from fellow players. While new fans and analysts called foul on the rough treatment, longtime women's basketball viewers saw these reactions as overblown. Nonetheless, the incident added fuel to the already growing interest in Clark and the WNBA, further spotlighting the league. Another recent controversy was Clark not making the USA Basketball's 12-player Olympic squad. Many fans and analysts believe Clark, with her exceptional skills and marketable star power, deserved a spot on the team. However, some, including Diana Taurasi, who's heading to Paris for her 6th Olympics, have defended the decision. NBA Hall of Famer Julius Erving also weighed in on the debate, sharing his perspective with Fox News Digital. Erving thinks Clark is likely to be on future Olympic teams, but believes that being left off this year might actually be beneficial. NBA legend Carmelo Anthony even chimed in on his 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast.
Should she be on there for branding purposes?
That's what it is.
Right?
Should she?
Everybody's thinking that part. Nobody's thinking you got to earn your way. You got to earn your keep. I got to get better. I got to develop. I got these ladies in front of me that I got to go. I have to go play. I have to prove myself to these. I still got to prove myself to these ladies every single night. So to be picked, and it's a lot different on the women's side than the men's side.
Mm-hmm.
The women's side being picked and selected for the national team is so tense and like so of a special moment because there's not that many of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So and they carrying on a certain tradition that they have to keep winning. They got to understand it, right?
Melo knows a thing or two about rookie hype and wanting to be part of Team USA, having been a major star himself when he joined the Denver Nuggets. Clark made a strong case to have been included on the Olympic team. By mid-season, she shattered the record for the fastest player to hit 300 career points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists. Clark accomplished this feat in just 19 games, beating the previous mark of 22 games. And if you look at rookies coming straight out of college, she surpassed the record held by New York Liberty's Sabrina Ionescu, who hit those numbers in 27 games. So Clark narrowly missing out on making the USA women's basketball team for the 2024 Paris Olympics means she can now focus on securing the WNBA Rookie of the Year award instead. Albeit stiff competition from Chicago Sky's Angel Reese, who's having an extraordinary season of her own. In just her rookie year, Clark has had the most spotlight of any player in WNBA history, and it goes without saying that she is on course to be the face of the league, even if it means taking blows and facing dislikes from other players. One thing we can note is that her presence in the league has already been felt early on, and the WNBA has gained from all that. So do you see Clark winning the Rookie of the Year? And where do you project the WNBA in the future with her influence? Let us know in the comment section below, and while you're at it, be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to this channel and check out this video here.